Hello again. Um, I want to talk about the 5 stages of grieving, and we start with denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Okay, and I told you before that I right now I'm going through cycles where I do feel good for a few weeks and then I don't, and I feel really bad, and I feel just like I weigh 1,000 pounds and can hardly move. And I was doing real good there for about 5 weeks, and then these past 2 weeks, I did not feel good at all. And I'm starting to feel better now, so I'm back, coming back up. But I I'm thinking about this more now as a grieving process, and not so much a healing process yet, because I still feel terrible. And so I kind of been examining my grieving process. And as far as denial goes, well, I was in denial till I decided to go no contact. So I've been in denial for over 50 years, as long as I've been alive. And anger is a phase of grieving. Okay, so I'm not in denial anymore, but I do visit anger once in a while still. And bargaining. Now, bargaining is like, you know, maybe if I just get my nursing degree, mom will be happy with me. And then you get your nursing degree and she's still not happy with you. You do that in your head. If I could just do this, mom would be happy. Or, you know, you make all kinds of compromises in your mind. And that's the bargaining phase, okay? You could be making excuses for them. You could be praying and saying, "Dear God, if you do this for me, I'll do that. I'll quit smoking or whatever." You know, that's all kind of in the bargaining part of grieving. Um, and and then um, depression. Yeah, I visit that one all the time. And then acceptance. I I think I've accepted it. I do. But then I still feel horrible. I still have these horrible cycles. So I realize that everybody grieves different, and that is what I am doing. I am grieving a loss of what uh, I should have had. I should have had love. I should have had nurturing. I should have had guidance. I should have had a parent. I should have had at least one parent doing that for me. And I realize that I'm grieving the fact that I don't, and that I always have been, because I've always been in denial about the severity of my mother's disorder. I would make excuses for her. I would cover up for her. I hated to bring my friends around her. Uh, I took the blame if she was a bitch, because it was something that I did. And yeah, okay. So I was in denial because I was taking all the blame. And I'm still angry about having to grieve something that I really never had. Usually you go through these grieving processes when somebody dies or you lose a limb, you know, but to have to go through a grieving process because you discovered that you were never loved, that it was a lie. I don't know how to get through this type of grieving, um, because I keep, even though I've made it all the way up here to acceptance, I go right back to anger. I don't go to bargaining. I'm done with that. Um, but the anger and the depression, I can get stuck there sometimes. So, how long does it take? How long does it take? I don't. It's incredible how this affects you and how bad you can feel. And I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna get over this hump. Um, I yeah maybe I'm still in denial. Maybe I think somewhere there's just gonna be this happy ending, and there's not, because I I'll when I see them, I know 100% I'm gonna revert to anger the next time I see them. And I'm a pretty straightforward person, and I will tell them. I mean, I guess I'm a little on edge because they're so sneaky that I do expect them to show up at my door, and maybe that's why I can't be done with the grieving process, because I know either they or the flying monkeys are coming. I get all kinds of fake Facebook accounts trying to friend me now. I mean, like 10 times more than before I unfriended my mother or blocked my mother. And then I got one from a relative, and it's a girl that's married to my cousin, who they've been married probably 10 years now. I've been on Facebook for 6 years, and she's been on there ever since I can remember. I am friends with my cousin on Facebook, even though we never talk. But um, I know that him and his wife, the one that's trying to friend me on Facebook right now, come from Washington back here to the Midwest and visit my parents. So when I got her friend request, I'm like, no, because that's just going to be a flying monkey, right? My mom's just going to quiz her on everything, since they're sounds like they're a lot alike. I've never met the woman, but my mom's talked about her. So yeah, it's like, and I've like I said, I've never met the woman, and I hate to make a judgment and not friend her, and be that makes me look like a bitch. I mean, come on, it does. And really, my dad's side of the family has never hurt me or treated me bad. Um, I'm not so sure they are real big. I don't know what they think of my mother, but I know that, like, when I went out there and visited my relatives, I told them about our tumultuous relationship, and my aunt, my dad's brother, she did empathize with me, and she did share a couple stories about my mother that I didn't know about, where she acted like a total ass And she was just trying, she was empathizing with me, my aunt was, and she's about 85 right now. She's still alive, and sorry about that. Um, and I also told my uncle, you know, and so they know that I don't have a good relationship with my mother. And at that time, and this was about 23 years ago, the last time I seen them out in Washington when I had my first baby. I went out there with her to see my grandma and stuff. Um, so I did have a chance to talk to them and shared that with them, and so you know they also know a few other things about my mother too, because like my dad's other brother and his wife, my mom doesn't like them, so my dad's not really allowed to have much to do with them, and they just live like 20 minutes apart, you know. So they I think have a sense that there's, you know, that I'm telling the truth, that she does have an issue. Um, but they're real friendly to her, and she doesn't cause them much trouble because they live so far away, so they don't ever see, you know, anything but her very best. And um, anyway, I think that's about it. So I'd like to say that I'm healing and all that, but I'm grieving, and I can't seem to get out of the cycle. So if you got any helpful hints, um, or anything you want to share, please comment below and like this video or subscribe. And I hope to see you soon. Peace.